Hi everyone and welcome to today's Chrissy B Show, and as you can see we're in a completely different location today. We're actually in B Bakery in Covent Garden, and we've done a few videos with B Baker, and if you'd like to check those out you can go to our YouTube channel. We've done the B sushi bus tour, we've done the afternoon tea bus tour, we've filmed here as well the afternoon tea, we've done the boat tour, so there's so many different things that you can check out. So we decided to come to this location today because we wanted something extra special. This show that I'm doing today is dedicated to our resident experts that are on the program every single week. And we have quite a few of them now on board that have joined the Chrissy B Show team, and I thought it would be nice to actually do a show dedicated to them for you guys at home to get to know them on a more personal level, because they always come on and give lots of great advice and help you viewers at home, but maybe you don't know much about them, about their background story, and I thought it was really important to actually share that with you. Now, something I'd like to say is that all the resident guests that are on the program, they all have something in common, and that thing that they have in common is that they all genuinely care about other people. I wouldn't have anyone on the program, for example, that is just out for themselves or just wants to be on TV, because let's be honest, like the media industry has those kind of people that just want to get famous and stuff like that. But the resident guests that we have on, the experts that we have on the program, they all have a genuine care for other people, and you can see that through the way they advise people. You can see that in the things that they do outside of the show. Some of them have their own charities, so they really are on the program to help spread the word about mental health and get people talking and get people to get the help that they need. So that is very important to me. And another reason why that's important is because many of the guests that come on the program, I would say that some of them still are going through mental health issues, and coming on the show is something very nerve-wracking for them. But they do it because they want to raise awareness about a certain condition or something that they've been through to help other viewers. And I remember one particular case of a young lady with social anxiety, and she actually came on a show and did a whole interview. And even though it was very difficult for her, but she did it. And people like that, you know, when they come on the program, they need to feel as comfortable as possible. And we want to make the experience as inspiring and as comfortable as possible for them. So it's also important for me that all our experts and the whole crew actually treat people, when the guests that come on, they actually are sensitive to their needs, they're well treated when they come on, so they can have an amazing experience. And I've had lots of feedback from guests that have been on TV for the first time with us, and they talk about how it's made them feel what a positive thing it was for them, how it's really helped their confidence. And that's what we love to hear, because the show isn't about making money or people to be famous. The show is about helping people, so much so that we're actually even sponsored by a charity. So it's really, really important to us that we make sure that the guests that come on have a good experience, that they are helped, as well as you viewers at home. So I'm going to start now telling you about our regular experts that are on the program that make the show what it is. Okay, so the first guest I would like to talk about is our resident business coach and mentor, Chelsey Baker. She is someone that is extremely driven. She's super brainy. She gives great advice every time she comes on the program for people that want to start their own business. She's achieved so much in her life, and honestly, sometimes I know she doesn't rest very much because she's so driven and she really wants to help people. So let's take a look at her interview.
Hello, I'm Chelsey Baker and I'm the resident business expert here on the Chrissy B Show.
We're in a constant demand and a need to have new mentors to keep up with the demand for society, because everyone should have access to a mentor. So the day is really about celebrating and recognising mentoring all over the United Kingdom.
Oh, I love being on the programme because there's just so many varied topics, and it's just wonderful to help so many viewers. They have so many issues with their businesses and you know, personal life as well. So I never know what I'm going to be asked, and I think it's just wonderful to really have that, you know, fantastic audience participation.
And last year I was I was a keynote speaker. It was 1,000 people. And just before I went and stood on my stage, I just stood at the lectern, I moved it. So all the people were coming, I got the lectern, I moved it right over there, because you need to own your stage.
Yeah.
I did a brilliant presentation, but for some reason, I didn't like being on the left.
I love empowering women because it just is so rewarding to see, you know, when I teach them on their business side of things, or personally, if I'm doing confidence mentoring or public speaking, to see them just grow as a person is absolutely wonderful. I love it. It's one of the most rewarding things, as with mentoring, I've ever done.
I don't know where to start. There was so much support. I mean, we had the likes of James Caan from Dragon's Den, Peter Jones. They were tweeted, it's National Mentoring Day. They got involved. So in terms of the other corporates and retailers and brands that got behind the initiative, we were just so lucky.
I love everything about my work. I am my work. I am the embodiment of my work. So I just, you know me on the show. I come in and I talk about everything from PR, pitching, public speaking, anything to do with the whole aspect of running a business. And I get to help people all over the world in, you know, overcoming their challenges and their real hardship that they're having. And that for me is the best job in the world.
Well, everyone, now it's time for me to tell you about our next resident guest, and that is Coach Chris Browne. Now, Chris has been with me from the very start. I think he may have even been on the first or second show back in 2012. And what I love about Chris, he is, again, very down to earth. He just walks into a room and he will greet everyone, makes everyone feel very comfortable. And he's such a friendly person, perfect for the program. He comes on and he gives employment advice, he helps people with interviews, with changes at work, so he gives great tips. But also, I don't know what it is, but he's so funny, and many times on the program we've just had fits of laughter. I don't know why we set each other off, but we do. And he's just a very fun person to have around as well. So let's take a look at his interview.
Okay, my name is Chris Browne, as you're known as Coach Chris Browne. Right? Why do I say Coach Chris Browne? Well, the reason being is another Chris Browne out there, some imposter who dances instead. And every time I get up and speak, somebody expects me to dance as well. So I say, no, I'm Coach Chris Browne and he's the imposter. But I wouldn't mind his bank account being swapped over instead. Yes. We've got here, a little bit smaller than here, you can say circle of influence, right? Okay, now this circle, I'll actually like you to do this at home, just draw two circles. You've got one big circle there, draw another one in the middle, and on top here it says I can, and in the middle one it says I can't. I am a coach outside and a trainer as well as incorporated speaker. What I do is I work with different groups. It could be in business or it could be students as well. And what I do is help them to hit their goals, get to the place they need to get to. And sometimes there's places where you think, well, hang on, you know, you've got to reassess what you're actually doing and work it out. And it's just brilliant because you're seeing lives change. Yeah. That's the main thing. And that's what I love doing, changing lives.
Are you ready? It's a bit horny.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Oh, we're not going to do this thing. Okay, we do get a lot of laughs in the show, that I'll say. What I do is I try not to focus so much on the negatives because I know at every tunnel there is an ending. Everything's temporary. Every negative situation is temporary. So I always kind of persevere for the ending, the end result within that. And I'll say in my general life every day when I get up, first thing I've got to do is, for me, it's my belief and my faith. That's what actually keeps me positive throughout the day. I pray, get up in the morning, and then I start my day before anything I do. Sorry. You know, it feels like we're squashed up on this chair, and you go, hi, Chrissy. Favourite memory on the show? Right, I've got quite a few to be honest, but there's one that sticks in my mind just recently, and every time I've seen her play, I'll tell you something. You said, what do you do to get into a good mood? It's moments like that. Fits of laughter. fits of laughter, you know. There's been some moments where I think, oh, no, I've got to be focused. This is a serious topic. And, you know, the more, yeah, there you go, the more you start. And you know something, Chrissy, the funny thing about it, everybody turns around and says, it's me. I want to treat it off. But yeah, that's my favourite moments. Oh, thanks.
I'm fine now.
All right, let's do it.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hi, Chrissy.
I think we must do it yourself. I think she should do it himself. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Let's go. Go.
This way.
This way.
Oh, man.
Well, that powder's gone.
Yeah. Well, that's hard work, I think.
Right.
Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hi, Chrissy.
Well, Chrissy, when you approached me to come on the show, it just sounded such a great idea when you said it. And when I came on board, I saw how brilliant it was. You've got a great team here. It didn't seem like a pressure, it seemed like more fun. And it's not only that, it was a case of the show actually focused on mental health. It's not a situation of, well, let's say mental health and we just moved on to the next thing. It's been ongoing. It's helped many people, and I'm just proud to be part of that, to be honest. You know, we've got to find a way of embracing change instead of resisting it. And if you go back to those ones which you said about resistance, if we recognise our resistance and set a plan of which one we're going to work on, get rid of the ego, the pride, and go with it. Being part of this team is the fact that we're reaching out to many people. It's not only that; it's the fact that everybody, even if you turn around and say, and you had a lot of pride, say, oh, mental health, no, it's never touched me. Everybody goes through it at one point or another. I can actually think of myself, the situation I've been through. And sometimes you meet people and they talk about it, they talk about the show and they say what the topic was about, and it makes a difference to them. Being here itself is the team. Camera people, the makeup artists, yourself, everybody, we all just get on really well, and it's fun. Like every time you come in, before it was like, would you come in and so and how can things like, right, give us your dates. Right? So I go, yeah, okay, there's my dates, you know. It doesn't matter, it's all great, we're all just fun, you know, at the end of the day, yeah.
Okay, so that was Coach Chris Browne there. Well, it's time for a break, but afterwards I will be introducing you to more of our regular experts, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone, where we are dedicating this program to our resident experts on the show. So we've spoken about Chelsey Baker and Coach Chris Browne, and now it's time to talk about another lovely lady that comes on the show weekly to share positive news, and that is Helena Chard. Now, as we know, there's lots of bad news out there, tragedies, disasters being reported on all the time, and even though there's great good news out there, it doesn't seem to get reported about very much, and Helena loves to find those positive things to inspire our viewers. Now, I love Helena. She's very bubbly, she's very friendly, and she is half Greek, but I would say she is quintessentially English. She loves her cups of tea, she loves the royal family, especially Harry, and whenever she can, she will slip in a news piece about someone in the royal family. She just loves talking about them. And she loves her afternoon teas and our cake of the week. So we have really good laughs with her. Let's take a look at this.
Do you know, Chrissy, I think I've been with you about 5 years.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
Flown?
It has completely flown, but it's amazing.
We've run out of time, Helena.
How come we've run
Should
out
we
of
cut
time?
some cake?
I think so.
I think it's time to taste this lovely cake from the cake parlour once again.
Look at the
Thank you very
macaroons.
much. Do you want a macaroon, Helena?
I would like a macaroon.
So this is, what do we say? It's a semi-naked cake, right?
Pretty, isn't
Should
it?
we cut into it?
That's something new, because I've not known about that.
What about the naked,
Yeah,
semi-naked?
semi-naked.
That's when apparently it doesn't, I think Julianne was telling
You can
us
see the
cover
sponge
whole...
through it.
Yes.
It's a very sort of creative
Very nice. Where's your plate,
exterior.
Helena? Want a
Oh,
piece?
yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm not going to miss out on the cake. It's always been fun. I've always really enjoyed it. Hence the reason why I'm with you always.
Yeah.
It's progressed, definitely progressed. I think the filming's become a lot more slick as well. And you've got loads of different guests that come on and lots of specialists and experts. It's just come together, and it's an amazing programme, I think. Really, really good and positive. Another thing that I saw recently and heard about as well is Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield launching a new campaign called Be Kind, and it's to combat bullying. And it's just so sad when you see it. I mean, it really is. You know, people were coming on talking about situations, and one woman was talking about, you know, her child actually wanted to walk in front of a lorry because it would better to do that than to actually face the bullying. So it's huge thing, but it's a great campaign, and lots of people and viewers and schools and everyone are behind it. So which is a real success. So I am very creative, I think is the way to put it. It's always very tricky I find some people don't quite understand because I do so many different things, but in a way they all sort of come together. I studied photography at St Martin's. I do royal photography and photography in general. I'm a royal commentator as well, which is good fun, so I do it for different channels. And I have a casting agency, so I have lots of different artists that I put forward for different things, whether it's commercials, films, corporate events, you name it. I've got different people that do different things, from actors, dancers, you name it. So, and they also, so it's a complete medley of things. Interestingly, I spend a lot of time with my artists talking through things, almost mentoring them, which in a way is, it's all to do with feel good and positive mental health, well-being. And I find it's sort of been a natural route because I've done that for so many years. It's like
a common thread running through everything.
Definitely. And my passion for mental well-being is huge, which is so obviously I really like it. And one other thing which is quite strong is that media really does form a lot of our thoughts in the world. So for me, positive stories really do help. So why bring your dog to work? I mean, that's recently we've had that, which is really because
they pee everywhere.
They do, and I can vouch for that. I've got a little dog called Boo who's very naughty in that way, and so every day I'm always having to sort him out. But anyway, they are lovely. To have animals when you're working is just wonderful. So a study in 2012, actually, people were saying that it's a great bonus for employee morale, for one. So bosses should be, welcoming loads of pets into the office. Oh, I love my behind the frame section. I love doing the journalistic side of things. So obviously the research, and really get into the nitty gritty of either finding something fun and special that's not really necessarily out there, but it's the positive stories, sharing the positive stories with everyone, because I mean, positivity breeds positivity. It's the same thing with negativity, and we understand that negative runs alongside with positive. But I think to talk about positive stories, it's not done enough. So I really love promoting that, and this is the perfect show for you to do it all. Norbert the therapy dog. Oh, Norbert the therapy dog is £3. He lives in America, Los Angeles, and he basically helps lots of children in the Los Angeles hospital there, and it's just lovely because all the sick children say it's the best part of the day is seeing Norbert the dog, who's just £3, and his owner is just saying that it's so magical to see how he really helps the children. So for me, positivity and well-being is crucial. From a mental health point of view, I'm really passionate about working with you, for instance, and talking through different subsections. I love the fact that you help. It's a TV programme that helps people, and it may be just a little small snippet, but people can take so much from every one of your shows, and I love that. I love that. It really does help. Helps, and also it's something that I love learning too. So I learn from you and from your guests, which I find inspiring. I find the whole show inspiring. I love the people I work with on the show. So it's I find it exciting.
Good.
Yeah, I find it exciting.
We have escaped from the studio today, and we thought we'd come and treat ourselves to a lovely meal here. So we're going to see what the food is like, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say, this place is stunning.
Yeah, I love the decor.
It's intimate little place for a gathering, like a party or a personal.
It's really nice. So looking forward to trying the food as well.
Hobbies, I love photography still, even though it's just something that I do. I love animals, so I love cuddling animals and friends and family and walking and nature and reading. I love learning. So wherever I am, I just love to learn. And I think that's all part of the journalistic thing and stories and things, which is fun. And I could go on. I'm one of these people, I love things in general. So, yeah.
Okay, so the next guest that I would like to talk to everybody about is one of our newer resident guests. She's a little firecracker. She doesn't take no for an answer. She's very driven and determined. And when she gets an idea in her head about doing something, she will just do it. She will just go ahead, move mountains and get things done. I'm talking about one of our resident autism experts, and that is Joanne da Costa. Let's take a look.
Mental health is something I'm so passionate about, and you know that I love you, I resonate with you, you're so honest, and you know, you deliver everything at ground level about how people really feel. So it's not just about you know, talking about autism or mental health, it's about working with the right people and the right team, and so I'm very excited to be with you. Yeah, I guess I started up Autism Parent Empower really after my own journey. My son was diagnosed at 2. It was very bleak, very dark, was finding my way through this dark maze, and it was really, really tough. But there came a turning point when I thought, do you know what? I can't recognise myself anymore, and I'm no good to my son, to my husband or my other daughter, and I need to change things around. And I sort of got this inner strength, and it started helping me just sort of break down barriers and get the things that I wanted. And my daughter said to me today when I was shopping, she goes, "Mummy, now I've realised why when I tickle you, you never laugh." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because you're just always laughing. You laugh at yourself." I tell the kids jokes, and before I've given the punchline, I'm in hysterics. So yeah, everything. I think life's too short to not laugh.
How does it feel to be helping people over the world?
It feels amazing, and it really gives back to me and everything we've been through, and my son and the whole story. So I feel like some of it's a bit of a healing process for me too, and it always feels good to give, and it always feels good to do a good thing. So it's been brilliant. I have a Tuesday Zumba class, which I absolutely love. So that's my kind of go-to to just let loose. Nutrition's a big part as well. So the foods that I eat, you know, staying hydrated, things like that, were all really important, and they've made a huge difference to the way that I feel. So yeah, I'd say exercise and nutrition are huge for me.
There's over 13 million children around the globe that are bullied every single year, and this shouldn't be tolerated on any level. Whether you're in the autism community, in a mainstream school, online, in a relationship, in a workplace, you know, it happens everywhere, and it's not on.
I do cry. And I feel like it's a really good thing to do. I think crying is a really good way to release and then roll your shoulders back and go, right, get on with it. So I'm not someone that holds it all in. I like to get it out and get on with it. But I think just taking a deep breath and going, right, it is what it is, let's keep going, it has been the, you know, lifesaver for me. So that's what works for me. I went to uni and I studied in media, and I did a bit of marketing, did a bit of presenting, did a bit of work with disabled people, and I actually feel that now all the little bits I did are suddenly coming together and has actually created this path and this road, and it's all sort of making sense. So I'd like to just carry on this journey, happy and healthy, and you know, I've got a lot of dreams for my family and for my son, and I think if I carry on this route, then hopefully they'll all be fulfilled. So yeah, some of the things that our parents have to go through to fighting for their children is unbelievable. So yeah, that's basically why I set it up.
Okay. Just to go back to when you said that you felt bad and other parents feel bad, what is it that they feel bad about? Because obviously it's a condition that the child is born with. So what is it that the parent feels guilty about? Or
I think because you can't tell when they're born, you spend the first maybe 18 months, you know, nurturing them and bringing them up and having all these hopes and dreams for them. And often they're basic, you know, I can't wait till they grow up, till they drive, till they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And when you get that diagnosis of autism, you're often told what that might mean, and that might mean that they actually never come out of nappies, might never speak, might never do the basic things that actually you'd hope that your little baby would one day have. I just think, you know, my motto is one life, live it, and I say that to people all the time. It's like, you just don't know. We've got to make every moment count. You don't know when this is going to be your last second, so live it, laughing, doing Zumba, eating well, exercising, laughing.
You said laughing twice.
Did I see? So yeah, just enjoying the moment and dealing with things when they come, and then brushing them off and keep going. So
okay, everybody, so now it's time for a break, but make sure you stay tuned because we have lots more for you with our resident experts. And I'm going to try one of these cakes. Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone, where we are filming a very special program today dedicated to our resident experts on the program. So the next guest that I would like to speak about is the one and only Dr. Rob Hicks. Now, Rob has been with us almost from the start of the program, and how we got to know him. I was actually driving home one day and I had LBC on, and he was there answering questions from the listeners, and I loved his knowledge. He was very knowledgeable. He was answering every single question, really helpful, really helpful. But there was also something really nice about his voice. He sounded friendly, down to earth. And I remember turning to my husband and saying, oh, he sounds like such a nice guy. It would be lovely to have him on the program. And my husband said to me, why don't you see if you'd like to come on? So, you know, he came on. From the first time, I thought, this person, he's just brilliant. He's perfect for the Chrissy B Show. And the rest is history. He's now on the program every single week answering viewer questions. But it's not just his knowledge and his personality that we love. He's also up for anything. So, for example, he's been a model on the show before. He's done fitness demonstrations. And the latest thing is that he danced on the program as well when we had our MHD challenge. He was so up for it, so excited, learnt the moves, did so well. And he's just someone that we love to have around. So let's take a look at his interview.
I spent a lot of time getting into music and into clubbing, and so you know, it's impacted my studies a little bit. But you know, I pulled my socks up and qualified, you know, quite merrily in the end.
Do you play in a band?
I play some keyboards in a band, and I sing in a band, but just socially. I mean, it's not, we don't do gigs or anything. We just do it for relaxation and for fun. So we write songs and we do covers and stuff. And yeah. So, and if you think about with anxiety and stress and depression, tiredness and fatigue are common symptoms. You know, so again, there's all these components that can impact. I mean, you know, often it is a physical cause. Often, you know, a lack of libido, for example, will be down to an underactive thyroid gland, or to anemia and tiredness, or it might be a side effect of medication. It might be because of lifestyle. People are working so hard, or they are consuming too much alcohol, and that's having an effect. But I don't think we should ever forget the mental health impact on a healthy sex life, because, you know, emotionally, mental health problems can be very draining, and then people just don't feel like having sex and making love. Well, I think I've you know, of recent years taken that more seriously, to look after my own mental health and well-being, because for a long time, I think for many people, they actually think they feel guilty if they look after themselves. And I was taught very early on by a very fantastic physician, and she said, you know, unless we look after ourselves properly, we can't look after anybody else. properly, but people often feel guilty for doing so. So what do? Well, I make sure that I have time out during the day to do something that I really enjoy, that isn't on the to-do list. So I might be in the office, and then I'll have 30 minutes singing, for example. Okay. So I'll just put the amps on, switch on the mics and start singing along to backing tracks or something. Or I'm trying to learn to play guitar, so I'll strum along with the guitar. So, or I'll go out for a bike ride. But I think the important thing is what I've had to do is actually add it to my list of things to do to remind me to do it. And therefore, for me, it works because it kind of gives me permission to do it. Now, I know it shouldn't be on the to-do list. It should come naturally, but I think it's better to find a way that makes sure you're going to do it and I'm going to do it, than think, well, I shouldn't do it this way, because otherwise you don't get round to it. The answer to that is it might be or it might not be. Your wife is right. You need to go and get this checked out, because you're saying it's been there for a long time and it's not going away. Now, if it's changing in its size, or if it's not growing out as it should do over a course of about 6 months to 12 months, then it's important you get it checked out. The reason being is, worst case scenario, it may be skin cancer under the nail. Now, the odds are that it isn't, but if it is, you want to get it diagnosed and treated as soon as possible. There are other causes. I'm not trying to scare you here. There are other causes of a black nail, and one is a fungal infection, and that can be easily treated by your doctor. Often it's actually because of recurrent trauma. So if you're a long-distance runner, for example, that may consistently damage the nail and cause it to turn black. Or if you keep dropping things on your toe, as I did not so long ago, you jolly well know that it hurts and it becomes black, but then it grows out. So if yours is what we call static, then I would pop yourself along to your doctor as soon as possible and just get it looked at. I like the relaxed atmosphere in the studio. I love all the people. I love the fact that everybody supports each other. And actually, I particularly like the fact that you encourage everybody to better themselves, to get more involved. And I think that's a real credit to you. It's a real skill to be able to say, look, let other people do good things as well. And I think that's the thing I get from everybody in the team, is there's always somebody looking out for you. And we have a lot of fun. We have a huge amount of fun. In my wildest dreams, I'd never think I'd be doing male fashion modelling on telly. Really?
And underneath this outerwear, if you just remove the jacket, show you this blue suit here. And just face the camera there. We have this blue suit that's not only is it not your classic, black and gray, it's this awesome blue color. It's perfect for this kind of season. So give us a little twirl there. Yes, very nice. Thank you very much. So, and it's this lovely blue here, but we wouldn't put that. Actually, not bad. Not bad. Anyway.
Bad. Okay.
All right.
I mean, every week is a highlight. Really. I mean, there's always something, isn't there? That you just. I mean, every time I leave the studio, I go away on a high. I'm floating, and it's a lovely, lovely feeling. But the things that I think about actually are more the outtake sort of stuff. So the doctor's answers bar stool that won't keep still and it keeps rotating round and you have to keep kicking it back. You saying to me, well, Rob's in the studio, come on, you can put this man bag on your shoulder and you can walk around with it. And then that hilarious moment where I got stuck to that wall, in a squat, and I felt I was a beach whale, but vertical. I mean, it was. Those sorts of things, and those are the things that I will always treasure. Yeah. Actually, the opportunity to get involved, have some fun, and of course, hopefully, pass on some good health advice as well. The future of the show, I'm very cautious to say this, but at some stage, I would love to sing on the show. At some stage, only because it's. Told us this earlier. I know, but I think there's an inherent anxiety I have. It's taken me. I have a bit of a history around singing, where I've always wanted to sing, but I went through a bad patch which stopped me from singing. My confidence was completely demolished as far as singing was concerned. And it took me many, many, many years to achieve what was a personal goal of standing up in front of an audience and singing. And so, yeah, it's about taking it to the next not level, next stage, I think. Yeah.
We're going to help take it to the next stage.
Are you? I love everybody here, and I love the show, and I'm just very, very grateful, and I feel it's a great privilege to be part of it.
So thanks very much to Dr. Rob Hicks for being such an amazing part of our program. So the next guest that I would like to speak about is our resident fitness expert, Feyi Jegede. Now she's quite recent, she's a newbie, she's joined our team very recently, and I really admire Feyi because she's been through so much in her life. There was a point where she was actually homeless with her children, and she made a way, she fought through, she was so strong, an excellent example to her children. And she's just done so well for herself, and I knew as soon as I met her actually that she'll be perfect for the program. Again, very friendly, very down to earth, remembers what she's been through and uses that to actually motivate others, even in her fitness tips. So we asked her to be one of our resident fitness experts, and she's joined our team, so really happy to have her on board. Let's take a look.
I'm a single mum of 4. I'm a fitness trainer and have been for about 12 years now. I love working out. I love motivating people, getting them up, encouraging them that they can do it. No excuses. It can be done even though you're a busy mum, busy life. And what else do I do? And I wear so many different hats. Yes, yes I do. Now today I'm going to be taking you through some exercises that you can do in the comfort of your home, okay? So some people tend to think that, well, what can I do? So I'm just going to show you a couple of exercises, 3 or 4 exercises, simple moves, and they're going to concentrate predominantly on your glutes. Oh yes, I make sure that I eat very well. I think nutrition is very, very important. So I balance the two. I like to exercise, but also make sure that I eat very well. And I also love spending time with my children, of course. So we tend to be outside kind of people. We do anything that's active. They ride their bikes, they play in the park, we go out, we share time with friends. And I think that's really important to be rounded, yes. And I'm just looking at my fingers just to make sure that I'm stretching it nice and wide. I love the show, I really do, Chris. I think it's brilliant what you do, tackling mental health, but you come about it in such a natural way, not just with, there's a lot of stigma around it, and I just think it's amazing the way you handle it. You handle it from a natural perspective, so everyday way. So I really, really like that. So I was always watching the show, and hence why I got in touch, and then you invited me to be a panel, and yes, I was ecstatic. I was over the moon. Now the whole purpose of a press up is to work your chest and of course your arms, okay? It's scary, I'll have to admit. I do get nervous sometimes. Some days my nerves take over.
You don't look it.
So it's good, it's good. I think it's good for people to know that, I'm just being real, really, to be honest. So if I don't say I'm nervous, then I look like I'm just perfect, but I'm not. So I do get nervous, but what I love the most about it is everybody. You are wonderful, the cast are great. When I come, you make me feel so good. And even when I mess up, you all say, you were fantastic. So I know that, you're very good at lying. So let's do that again. This is a toughie. I feel it all the time. I love it. Okay, my biggest dream. I have so many, but I think my biggest dream would be I think I'd love to follow up on my DVD. I'd love to do another DVD and just have a few of them out there and have people sort of go, oh, I know her. And just have people resonate with my own story. I think that would be a great achievement, to have people say, oh, you encourage me, or you motivate me, or you inspire me. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that do the same for me, and I'd love to be able to do the same for others.
Thanks very much to the lovely Feyi. Well, it's time again for a break, but stay tuned because we have lots more for you after this break. Welcome back everyone to the Chrissy B Show. I actually forgot how delicious B Bakery cakes are. They're really amazing. You guys should try them. So the next person that I would like to speak about is another very, very driven lady. Again, someone that I admire very much because she went through some difficult times in her life when both her sons are autistic, and she couldn't find a school for them. So what did she do? She built her own school. That's the kind of person that she is. She will find a way to do things. And nothing, as I said, nothing is an obstacle for her. Every time I speak to her, she's always kind of thinking up new ideas for things, something new to do, something different to help people. So she's not just thinking about her children. She's thinking about everybody that's been affected by autism in some way, that is having difficulty. And she actually loves to show that, you know, autistic people, they have so many talents. They have so much going for them. I know sometimes society will look down on people that are different, but she actually makes sure to say to people, look, you know, everyone, they're all fantastic, basically. So let's take a look at her interview and we'll be back after this.
My name's Anna Kennedy and I've got 2 sons who are autistic, and because of the lack of provision of where I lived, I basically had to create everything. So a school, a college, and now we have a charity that support families across the United Kingdom, and I do whatever I can to raise awareness and acceptance and create opportunities.
Hi Chrissy and Chrissy B viewers, I'm so excited to be here on our very first regular contribution to talk about autism. This is Ryan. Ryan's one of my charity patrons. He's been with us for about 3 years now, Ryan, would you say?
3 years, yeah.
And he's going to be talking about how his life has changed since he's been working with the charity, and I'm so excited that we're going to be able to talk about the world of autism.
Yeah, Strictly was the best experience ever, and obviously it's the build-up now to the Strictly that's coming up. I was in the People Strictly, and it was the first time they'd ever done anything like that before. Yeah. So apparently 11,000 people were nominated, and I was nominated by some friends that didn't tell me anything about it. It was all a big secret. And they chose 6 people to experience the Strictly bubble, and it was the best fun ever. Yeah. I actually rediscovered fun because I'm so focused on what I'm doing, on my job, on my family, everything I'm doing, that I actually forgot what me time was like and having fun. So I used to do tap dancing when I was a kid. And then having my boys, I just really focused on them and I didn't really dance anymore. So I went into the Elstree studio. I met everybody like Ali, Ash, Jeanette and everything. It was just like really surreal. Yeah. And my partner was Robin Windsor, who we're really still good friends. I actually spoke to him yesterday. And we did the Charleston, and it was the fastest Charleston ever on Strictly. And we got 4 10s. Yeah! Obviously, having 2 sons on the spectrum, a lot of parents are really still struggling, and what I want to do is try and raise as much awareness and acceptance as I possibly can. And by somebody watching the show, if it makes a difference just to one family's life, it's worth me doing it. I'm very passionate, I'm very driven, I'm enthusiastic, I'm always thinking of ideas and different things. You know what I'm like, I'm just doing stuff all the time on 3 to 4 hours sleep a night. And it's just like, I just want to make a difference to families' lives, because families are still struggling with diagnosis, with trying to find the right type of school. Once they get to adulthood, you know, there's not an awful lot out there. So I just want to try and leave a legacy. My boys were at home for about 3 years, and they were just getting 5 hours home tuition. And I was getting really frustrated because everything you read about is autism needs early intervention. And I thought, well, where is it? I can't seem to get it. So that's why we decided to set up our own school. So we had a crash course in absolutely everything. Ryan is our young charity patron, and obviously he got bullied and it caused him a lot of upset. But he's turned it around, and because of Autism's Got Talent, which is a show which I'm really passionate about and which we've been doing for about 7 years. And since the show, they've been saying that Ryan's given them hope, if you like, you know, by watching him. And also, I've had lots of people asking about Autism's Got Talent. How can we enter? You've given me an idea. Talking about out of school clubs. So yeah, I had a lot of feedback, and now they'll just keep asking, what are you going to talk about next?
A few years ago, we conducted a survey to parents to ask about autism and bullying. Over 60% of families shared that their children had been bullied in mainstream schools, and this was due to their autism and their social interaction in the playground, which made them easy targets. If creating this anti-bullying campaign is going to stop one child from being bullied,
then this has been totally worth it. So please share this video and help us spread this important message.
What I like of being part of the Chrissy B Show, it looks like I'm going to be part of another family, meeting everybody, the regular guest presenters, and also you yourself. So I think we've we've gelled, and I just feel really comfortable talking to you. So, and it's a great opportunity.
Thank you very much to Anna Kennedy. So we have time to talk about one more resident expert, and that is someone that has also been with us almost from the very start of when we started airing the Chrissy B Show. She's someone that's very elegant, very graceful, but also up for a laugh. She's won awards for her contribution to mental health. She's achieved so much, helped so many people, and that is our resident psychologist, Dr Nihara Krause.
I am a consultant clinical psychologist. I'm a Londoner, a true Londoner by heart, love it. I do lots of things in addition to my clinical work. So I have a charity called STEM Forwards for teenagers, and we go into schools and we educate children, parents and their teachers on how to pick up on early warning signs. I like running. Not very good at it, but I do it. I love art, so I try when I can in my free time to do bits of painting. Not very good either, but I enjoy it. I want to pick up singing again because that's something I used to do. And I like coming on the Chrissy B Show.
Every person's experience is different, but about 70% of people who go on to complete suicide have got a diagnosis of clinical depression. So suicide is linked with mental illness, and that might be depression, it might be bipolar disorder, it might be a psychosis.
I have been on the show, and that's a really good question because I can't remember, but I think I've been on the show for at least 5 years, maybe.
So eating disorders are very specific. They fall into 3 categories. They're anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder. Very young children do develop eating disorders, and it would seem as though usually that's connected with something unpleasant and out of control that children experience.
Well, obviously it's the only show on mental health and wellness in this country, and I think that's really, really good. It's good because it speaks to the nation in terms of, you know, bringing to life people's stories together with lots and lots of good tips from a variety of professionals who are all very good in their field. And it's also interesting because there's bits about cookery and there's bits about, you know, fashion, so I think it's a good programme.
It seems as though the effects of bullying are really far-reaching and can go all the way into adulthood if it's not dealt with. And those can be in terms of affecting how you see yourself. So it can affect your self-image, it can affect your self-worth, it can also affect how you relate to other people.
I think the show is it's a tool to communicate with other people and a way to get ideas through. It's a way to raise awareness, and it's also a way, I think, of enabling people to learn something about themselves in, you know, in a kind of an easy, comfortable way from their sofa.
Sometimes it's to do with people who find difficulty in expressing their emotion, particularly anger, and so people might think that that's, you know, that there's no point in living because they can't live with the anger that they have or with the sadness that they have.
I get to be involved in discussions about mental health topics that are important, to raise awareness about special days, to learn Chrissy's dance, and to have fun and to also meet other people.
thank you very much to Nihara. Well, everyone, we have reached the end of today's program. We'd like to say a special thank you to B Bakery in Covent Garden for allowing us to use their space here today, and for the lovely cakes, of course. And don't worry, we do have more for you. We're going to have a part 2 to this program to talk about more of our resident experts. So see you again next time.